The gym was alive with movement. Iron plates clanging against the ground, the low thud of heavy footsteps on the rubberized floor, and the occasional grunt of effort as lifters pushed their limits. The scent of metal, chalk, and sweat filled the air, a perfume that only the truly dedicated could appreciate. Ethan Hale adjusted the weights on his barbell, his focus unshaken. He had been coming to Iron 4 Gym for years, a place that valued discipline over distractions, effort over ego. At 6 feet 2 inches and 210 pounds of lean muscle, Ethan had spent years refining his craft. He wasn't just strong, he was calculated. Every lift, every rep was a statement, built on years of consistency, pain, and adaptation. He didn't waste time on trends, social media nonsense, or empty debates. He trained hard, lifted heavy, and let results speak for themselves. Then she walked in. Olivia Carter. She was well known, if not for her lifting, then for her mouth. A loud, self-proclaimed feminist and social media activist, she prided herself on challenging toxic gym culture and smashing the patriarchy one rep at a time. Dressed in skin-tight leggings and a crop top that read, "Stronger than your EGO," Olivia strutted in like she owned the place. Her entourage, other women from her fitness group, followed close behind, armed with their phones, ready to document any interaction that might be spun into a viral post. Ethan had seen her type before, not serious about training, more interested in making a statement than making progress. He ignored her and returned to his deadlifts. He had no interest in whatever performance she was putting on today. But Olivia wasn't the type to be ignored. "You see that guy over there?" she announced, pointing at Ethan while turning toward her friends, making sure her voice carried. "He thinks just because he's a man, he's naturally stronger than me." Ethan exhaled slowly, still gripping the barbell. He wasn't in the mood for this. He had already crushed 4 working sets of deadlifts at 500 pounds. His body was screaming for rest. But instead, he found himself being dragged into an argument he never asked for. The gym fell quiet. Eyes turned toward the confrontation. Some people smirked. Others watched with curiosity. Everyone knew what was about to happen. Olivia had challenged the wrong guy. He finally turned toward her, his face unreadable, his demeanor calm. "It's not about thinking anything. It's science. Men have higher muscle mass, denser bones, and greater natural strength. That's not my opinion. It's biology." Olivia folded her arms, her lips curling in amusement. "Oh, please," she scoffed. "That's just outdated thinking. Strength isn't about biology. It's about willpower, about mindset. Women can be just as strong as men if they train properly." Ethan raised an eyebrow. If that were true, the strongest powerlifters, strongmen, and Olympic lifters wouldn't all be men. There's a reason men hold every single strength record in existence. Olivia's smirk faltered for just a moment, but she recovered quickly. That's because men are the only ones encouraged to get strong. Women are told to stay small and delicate. If we had the same support and training, we'd be just as capable. Ethan shook his head. You can train as hard as you want, but biology doesn't care about feelings. A trained man will always outperform a trained woman in raw strength. That's not sexism. That's just how humans are built. By now, a crowd had formed. Gym members paused their workouts, some pretending to stretch while secretly listening in. Even the trainers had taken notice. Olivia grinned. "All right then, Mr. Biology, why don't we put your theory to the test?" Ethan sighed, rubbing his temple. He had no interest in proving something that should have been obvious, but he knew Olivia wouldn't let it go. She was the type who thrived on attention, who needed a spectacle to feel validated. Still, he wouldn't back down from a challenge. "Fine," he said. "We'll do a full strength competition. Squats, bench press, deadlifts, overhead press, and pull-ups. No excuses." A ripple of excitement spread through the gym. Some people exchanged knowing glances, while others suppressed laughs. They already knew how this would end. Olivia's confidence wavered for just a second, but her pride wouldn't let her back down. "You're on," she said. "But when I win, I want you to admit that women are just as strong as men." Ethan smirked. "And when you lose?" "I won't," she said, flipping her hair over her shoulder. The two stood face to face, the tension thick in the air. This wasn't just about lifting weights anymore. It was a clash of beliefs, of reality versus delusion. The gym members eagerly set up the competition. Cameras were pulled out. Live streams were started. The weight room transformed into an arena where the inevitable humiliation was about to take place. Ethan cracked his knuckles. He had nothing to prove, but he was about to end Olivia's argument once and for all. The gym had turned into a coliseum. The murmurs of spectators, the glow of phone screens recording, the subtle smirks from lifters who knew exactly what was about to happen. It was all setting the stage for Olivia's moment of reckoning. Ethan stood silently, arms crossed, exuding quiet confidence. Olivia, on the other hand, was relishing the attention, stretching dramatically, hyping herself up. This wasn't just about lifting weights anymore. This was about proving a point. Round 1. Squats. The warm-up weight was set at 225 pounds. Olivia stepped up first, determined. She unracked the bar, took a deep breath, and sank into her first rep. 1, 2, 3. Her form wobbled slightly, but she held strong. By 6 reps, her legs were visibly shaking. She struggled up to the 7th, but barely made it before racking the weight with an exaggerated sigh, flashing a cocky grin. Not bad, huh? Ethan didn't respond. He didn't need to. He stepped on the same bar, unracked it effortlessly, and began his set. Smooth, controlled, efficient. 12 reps. 15. 20. He racked the bar without a word, not even winded. The crowd was already chuckling. Olivia's grin twitched. Reps don't mean anything, she scoffed. Let's go heavier. The weight jumped to 275 pounds. Olivia approached, lips pressed together in determination. She unracked it, sank into the first rep, and barely made it back up. Second rep, her knees buckled slightly. She fought through it. Third rep, stuck. Spot. 2 trainers rushed in, grabbing the bar before it crushed her. Olivia stumbled forward, breathless, shaking out her legs like it was all part of the plan. Ethan? He loaded 315 pounds without comment. The bar came off the rack smoothly, and he dropped into the first rep like it was air. 1, 2, 3. He hit 10 reps with ease before racking the weight and stepping back, unaffected. The gym fell silent. First round, Ethan. Olivia's jaw clenched. Round 2, bench press. She started at 135 pounds, getting 8 reps before struggling on the last one. She sat up quickly, feigning confidence, but her arms trembled slightly. Ethan matched her 8 reps, then kept going. 12, 15, 18. He racked the bar casually. Olivia pretended not to notice the growing chuckles from the crowd. Let's go heavier, she muttered. At 155 pounds, she barely managed 2 reps before the bar stalled on her chest. Her friend had to rush in to pull it off. Ethan loaded 225 pounds. The weight that had crushed Olivia moved in perfect, controlled reps. By the time he hit 12, even Olivia's friends had stopped cheering. Someone in the crowd muttered, "Damn." She wiped her hands on her leggings. Her face was red. Whether from exertion or embarrassment was unclear. Second round, Ethan. Round 3, deadlifts. This was her moment. This was the one lift she had bragged about online. She stepped up to 275 pounds, her best lift, and pulled. The first few reps were strong, but by 6, her grip was failing. She let the bar drop and turned to Ethan, chest heaving. "Beat that," she smirked, though her confidence had cracks. Ethan didn't even acknowledge it. He simply walked to the bar and loaded 405 pounds. Someone whistled. He gripped the bar and ripped it off the ground like it was nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. By 10 reps, Olivia wasn't smirking anymore. By 12, her arms were crossed, her lips pressed tight. By 15, she was avoiding eye contact. Ethan dropped the bar with a controlled thud. The gym erupted into murmurs. Even her followers, the ones live streaming, were awkwardly silent. Third round, Ethan. Olivia inhaled sharply, looking at the remaining events on the scoreboard. She was running out of chances. And Ethan? He was still just warming up. The scoreboard was brutal. 3 rounds, 3 losses. Olivia's smile had faded, her cocky attitude replaced by forced determination. The crowd had grown. Even the trainers, usually too busy to care, were watching from the sidelines. Her followers were still recording, but the energy had shifted. Instead of cheering, they whispered. Even her best friend, who had been hyping her up, kept glancing at the scoreboard with growing unease. Ethan? He was the same as he had been from the start. Calm, focused, unaffected. Round 4, overhead press. This was where things would fall apart for good. The weight was set at 95 pounds. Olivia stepped up, grabbed the bar, and pressed it overhead. The first rep was clean. The second, slower. The third, a struggle. She barely locked out the 5th rep, her arms shaking violently. When she racked the bar, she forced a confident nod, though her breath was ragged. "Your turn," she snapped. Ethan didn't hesitate. He stepped forward, pressed the bar 10 times effortlessly, then kept going. By 15 reps, Olivia's jaw was clenched. By 20, her hands were fists at her sides. He set the bar down gently. "Let's go heavier," she said through gritted teeth. 115 pounds. Olivia tried. She really did. But the moment the bar came off her shoulders, it didn't budge. She strained, her entire body shaking, face turning red. Nothing. She let out a frustrated growl. Dropping the bar. Damn it. Ethan added 135 pounds of bar, stepped up, and pressed it overhead with ease. 1, 2, 3. By 10 reps, Olivia had turned away. By 15, her friend had stopped recording. Ethan racked the bar without a word. The gym was completely silent. 4th round, Ethan. Olivia inhaled sharply, staring at the last event left. Pull-ups. She had one last chance to save face. Round 5, pull-ups. All right, she huffed. Body weight only. Let's go. She gripped the bar, took a deep breath, and pulled. 1 rep, 2, 3. Her arms trembled, her body swayed slightly. By 6 reps, she stalled. She struggled, gritted her teeth, but her chin didn't clear the bar. She dropped down, cursing under her breath. The gym waited. Ethan exhaled, gripped the bar, and started. 1, 2, 3, 4. Smooth, controlled, no wasted motion. By 12 reps, Olivia was staring at the floor. By 20 reps, she was rubbing her temples. Ethan finally let go, not even breathing hard. Silence. Then, a single whistle. A few chuckles. Someone muttered, "That was embarrassing." The scoreboard was final. 5 events. 5 losses. And Olivia had nothing left. Her entire body language screamed defeat. The fire was gone from her eyes. The confidence, the arrogance, the attitude, all crushed under cold, hard reality. Her feminist manifesto had just collapsed in front of the entire gym. Ethan grabbed his water bottle, slung his gym bag over his shoulder, and turned to leave. No gloating, no words, no need. The results spoke for themselves. But as he passed Olivia, she suddenly blurted out, "This wasn't fair." Ethan stopped. She was breathing heavily, her fists clenched, face red, not just from exertion, but from pure, unfiltered humiliation. "You're a guy," she snapped, voice shaking. "Of course you're stronger." This wasn't about skill. It was about biology. Ethan turned, raised an eyebrow. "Exactly." And with that, he walked out, leaving her speechless. Behind him, the murmurs started again. "Wait, wasn't she the one who said strength wasn't about biology? I thought mindset was enough." Damn, she just proved his whole point. Olivia stood frozen, face burning, humiliated in front of the entire gym. Her social media followers had seen everything. Her reputation? Shattered. Her beliefs? Destroyed. And Ethan? He had never needed to prove anything in the first place. The air in the gym was thick with tension. Olivia stood frozen, her face burning as whispers and murmurs spread to the crowd like wildfire. The challenge was over. The scoreboard was brutal. 5 rounds. 5 losses. The very argument she had built her brand on, the idea that women were just as strong as men, had been shattered in real time, in front of hundreds of watching eyes and live-streaming phones. Her followers had witnessed it all. Ethan was already leaving, gym bag slung over his shoulder, completely unbothered. No taunts, no mockery. He didn't need to say anything. Reality had spoken loud enough. But Olivia couldn't let it go. She clenched her fists, her breath ragged, her entire body still shaking. Not from exertion, but from humiliation. This wasn't fair, she suddenly blurted out. Ethan stopped in his tracks. He turned back, raising an eyebrow. The gym fell silent again. "You're a guy," she said, her voice uneven, frustration bubbling to the surface. "Of course you're stronger." This wasn't about skill, it was about biology. The words left her lips before she even realized what she had just admitted. A few people in the crowd chuckled. Some exchanged looks. Ethan gave the slightest smirk. Exactly. That single word cut deeper than anything else could. She had just proven his entire point. She had gone from boasting about breaking barriers to excusing her loss with the very science she had denied at the start. Her own words had defeated her. The humiliation hit like a truck. She opened her mouth again, searching for a comeback, a justification, anything to salvage what little dignity she had left. But there was nothing. She had stood in front of the world, declared war on reality, and had been crushed under the weight of truth, and everyone knew it. Her best friend, who had been hyping her up at the start, was now avoiding eye contact. Her live stream, once filled with cheering supporters, was now a war zone of comments. Wait, so now she admits men are stronger? Wasn't she the one who said it was about willpower? LMFAO, this is gold. Ethan didn't even try skull. Unfollowed. She made us all look stupid. The screen was flooded with laughing emojis. Her entire brand was collapsing in real time. Her knees felt weak, not from lifting, but from defeat. She wanted to run, to disappear. Ethan didn't stick around to watch the fallout. He gave a final glance, his face as unreadable as ever, and walked out the door. He hadn't needed to prove anything. She had done it for him.